Hi there, it's G and Yanko with another amazing parenting, and today we'd like to talk to you a little bit about punishment and consequence.
Well, first of all, I would like to say that a lot of people think that punishment and consequence is the same thing. You can hear people going, if you don't tidy up your room, there will be consequences, and they take away the computer for 2 weeks, for example. But that is not actually a consequence, that is a punishment. The difference between the punishment and a consequence is that punishment is instilled by somebody, by an authority, but consequence is kind of a natural thing, like running out of clean socks, for example, or getting things lost in a messy room.
Absolutely. For a lot of parents, their parenting life is very much a series of interventions. We all know that parents wear many hats, and one of the most important roles of a parent is to, in my opinion, stimulate a child's passion for learning as they're growing. And they do this best, the parents do this best by being passionate themselves about what they do in their own life. So how do you display this passion, and how do you encourage your kids to develop? You can do this by being real with your emotions, by being open about the challenges that you face, and by being a guide and leading your children in the right direction. Overall, sharing experiences with your children without telling them specifically what to do or how to feel in the process.
Yeah, leading by being a model, right? Because the best way for children to learn is to observe and to repeat or reproduce, basically. Yeah, we talked a little bit about punishment before in the Amazing Parenting, and we have mentioned that punishment promotes disconnect from your child. And that is actually one of the main differences between punishment and a consequence, that a punishment comes from you as the authority, and therefore the child views you as the enemy, whereas natural consequence, that's just what happens in the world, and the parent can be there for the child as the child's partner who helps them learn responsibility and helps them take responsibility for their action and can guide them through it rather than stand on the opposite side and just be the bad guy, basically.
Yeah, every action has some kind of consequence. Some are instant and visible, and some are distant and invisible. Either way, you have to develop at a very early age the idea of responsibility. And this is very positive for the child, because the child learns at a very early age that their actions do affect changes in the world around about them, that they're not powerless, that they're not inconsequential. And they learn, in essence, that they matter to the world.
Yes, punishing a child takes the control away from them, because you are the control in their life. You take the control and you act. But when you help child to face the natural consequences, you are teaching them how to take control of themselves, and you are empowering them. You're teaching them responsibility. So you don't teach them responsibility by punishing them, but by giving them tools and helping them along to take the responsibility and to face any consequences that come out of any mistakes.
Children can't learn and grow if they're going to live in an environment of fear, especially if they fear punishment. If they fear punishment, they're going to learn to conform. They will also learn that unnecessary pain is necessary. They will be afraid to explore life's boundaries. They'll be afraid to speak out about how they feel. They'll be afraid to ask for help in critical situations. So this threat of punishment is a fear that silences the voice of the child. And as a parent, that's the last thing we want to do. We want to encourage the children to speak, to communicate, to be honest, and to be open with us. And so we must be open with them. We must be open but set healthy boundaries. We must love them but also inform and instruct them. And we must teach them but also mentor and coach them at the same time.
Yes, punishment is kind of a lose-lose situation because the first reaction of a child will be resentment or a power struggle because they don't want to give up their power. When you punish them, you're taking away their power. They don't want to give it up. So there's going to be a power struggle, and whoever wins the power struggle, they lose at the same time because it damages the relationship. So if you win and you break your child's spirit, then they lose control, they lose empowerment, they lose self-confidence, and you lose as well because your relationship suffers.
Absolutely. And I think the loss of love in that kind of situation leads inevitably to the inability to love later on. From my perspective, it's avoid punishment and accept consequence. That's what you need to do.
Yes.
And this is gwhnsa saying thank you very much for listening. If you've got any questions, let us know online, and wherever you are, have a great day.
Bye.
See you later, guys. Take care.